Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. So welcome back to Calamity Master, and today's episode is a little bit different, as you'll probably tell. We're doing a replay analysis episode. So some people have been requesting for this, and the next two episodes I'm going to be trying out two different types of replay analysis. The first one is going to be this style, which is actually a replay file that you guys personally can get from your match history now in League of Legends with the new client. And then tomorrow's episode is going to be a post-game commentary using the footage, the in-game footage that I commentate over. And basically, I'm going to do a little mini competition between the two. Whichever one gets the more likes, I'll kind of do more of that one, if that makes sense. The live commentaries are always going to be the biggest thing on this channel. But if people prefer this style, which is the replay, that I have full control and can look anywhere I want, then I'll do it this style. I just noticed I should probably put it on this team, so we only have vision of what I can see in game. But if this, if you prefer this one, then throw a like on it. Or tomorrow's video, if you prefer the point of view type, throw a like on that one. Or if you like both, throw a like on both. But we are playing Yorick today. I haven't even mentioned that yet. And a lot of people are going to go, why am I playing Yorick? Basically, because I, for a while now, have been playing Darius. I've been fairly successful with the champion so far. And I've been like, I need to find something that can beat Darius. Because I've been playing a lot of Poppy, and then people have started to play Darius because of Poppy was popular. Okay, I can't play that champion. So I've needed to find something, basically, that can play versus Darius, but also be quite effective. All of my research, it wasn't that much, I'll be honest, but a lot of the research that basically I found, it was matchups that pros have been playing, win rates, how the champions just work. It all led to Yorick being potentially the champion that you should be playing versus Darius. And we're going to be using today's game to show you why. So we are playing against this guy. From memory, I think he was a Darius player. Again, I don't have the loading screen, unfortunately, because I wasn't expecting myself to do this episode. I just thought it would be kind of cool to do a replay one. But yeah, we've started Doran's Blade, which some people are like, really, Doran's Blade, not corrupting? Not corrupting, no. I can get that. I can go back and buy that at another time, but the Doran's Blade basically can give me a little bit of dueling pressure to the Darius if I were to fight him. But even that, I don't want to fight him that early, to be honest, because it's still a Darius, and his passive is stupid in the early game. His passive literally can just kill you at half health. Anyway, he's going to go ward down there. Lee Sin does look for him. But that now Bush is warded. He was expecting the gank, as you normally will have to as a top laner. And bot lane, they get ganked by the Rek'Sai instead of the early gank. So junglers either side of the map. But yeah, the way that Yorick is being played, again, some people have been asking me to play it. The reason why Yorick hasn't been picked up into this, like, oh, this incredible top laner, is because it's very easy for your Yorick, and this sounds weird, to do nothing. His job is a split pushing champion a lot of the time, that he uses his ghouls, his ultimate, just to push down his tower as quick as he possibly can. This is also where, right there, is why you see Yorick being so good versus Darius, because I can lock him in place and I can just walk away. Sure, he can bring me back into it, but then I can walk away after that point. First blood comes down on the Corki, but Lee Sin does go down to the tower. But yeah, the reason why Yorick is so popular versus Darius is because, one, sustain, especially with Grasp of the Undying. Yorick has a lot of sustain. Secondly is the W, so Darius can't deal with it. He'll either have to flash out of it or anything like that. But then thirdly, the ghouls. Darius's Q, I believe, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, we'll see it throughout this commentary, I'm sure his Q doesn't affect Yorick's ghouls. So he can Q all he wants, but he's still going to get hit by them, and it doesn't affect his ultimate, Yorick's ultimate. So there's where a lot of damage can come out with Yorick when he's actually not hitting the Darius. He is completely safe, walked away from him, but his ghouls are still doing damage to him, and that's a really, really big thing. Now you'll also notice the keen-eyed of you, if you looked over to the top right over there, the summoner spells on Darius, he's actually taken Ghost Flash. Now this, as a top laner or as any player of League, sometimes you have to read players through their summoners. If they have Ignite, they want to kill me. If they've got Exhaust, they want to survive. If they've got TP, they're just being a normal top laner. If they've got Ignite, Exhaust, or Ghost as a top laner, they want to kill you. 100% they want to kill you, because why else would you take it? Darius's strength with Ghost is because he's a great champion with Ghost, because he needs to auto-attack people to get his passive. Sometimes people get away just in time. Ghost helps him continue to auto-attack people to make sure they stay in range. That's basically why it's so good. So I do have to be careful. Anyway, gang going on mid. We do have a Swain mid. Let's actually swap those around. We have a Swain mid lane, which is it's a little bit rare to see a Swain in the mid lane. I actually did offer him. I was like, as soon as he picked Swain, I was like, you sure you want to go Swain mid? You know, you can go top lane if you want. And he actually offered me that. He was like, okay, let's look at the matchup and then we'll see. And as soon as Darius was locked in, he was like, yeah, I don't want to play against a Darius as a Swain. I was like, that's fine. But yeah, build-wise, so from memory, I played this game a couple days ago. Memory, I think I did go Triforce and Zarot Portal and stuff like that, I believe. We'll have to see as the game goes on. But basically, a damage tank build. It's standard. Think of like a Nasus, basically. Yorick has a fairly similar build to that. But yeah, we're kind of in the early stages of the game right now, so not a lot is happening in top lane. And I am, in this commentary, by the way, focusing pretty much on this matchup. I might roam around with the camera a little bit later if I die or if something's happening, if I've gone back and bought, but the commentary I do want to focus on is the top lane matchup, because it's the sole reason for doing this. Anyway, another cool thing that you can do with your W as a Yorick is you could actually put it on yourself and basically cage yourself away from him. Now, you'll notice I've hit level 6, and as soon as I hit level 6, I'm going to go aggressive on him. I pop my ultimate, so it's going to continue to damage him. Unfortunately, Draven does go down in the bot lane. But I've got all my ghouls up. This means I'm going to be pushing very, very quickly. And then they can go for the tower if they wanted to. I'll maybe look for an E on him. Unfortunately, I miss it. And I'm just going to kind of chill around. Don't need to do anything crazy. I do have to be careful for his level 6, which he just hit. But other than that, we're pretty much okay. I should be regenning from the corrupting potion. Quite a lot of bad stuff just actually happened in bot lane. Lee Sin does pick up a kill for himself. Is going to try and survive, which he will. So it's good that he survived that. But yeah, a couple deaths there. Again, an early death from Draven is never a good thing. Lee Sin is going to go greedy for the Rek'Sai. Maybe a little bit too greedy, but Swain is coming in the back line. Draven makes his way. Swain picks up the kill, so that was quite nice. Good survivability by him. I've gone back and bought. That's why I'm looking around the map right now. But yeah, an early death on a Draven's never a good thing because he is a snowballing AD carry. You know, you want to get a lead on him. Otherwise, his job is kind of redundant. He wants to build a lead in the early game and snowball. That is Draven in a nutshell. And now my first two items is the Longsword and Ruby. So I'm opting, you know, I think I'm going Triforce first item. I'm opting to go for the survival items rather than the burst. So you could go Sheen if you're that confident, but I'm going to go for the you know, the Ruby and stuff like that, just for a bit of survivability. And very soon, you know, this is where, around the time of the game where a Darius wants to go aggressive, but also as a Yorick, this is the time that I'm okay. I'm actually pretty strong with my ultimate and caging him off, especially if he gets near my tower. That's also a really good technique for a Yorick to get kills. Think of Yorick as like a weird blitzcrank. Is he gets stronger when he's near his tower because he can cage you and lock you in while you're getting hit by tower. And especially a Darius that makes bleeds, that has a bleed on you. A lot of the time Dariuses actually take tower damage when they're not expecting to, because they're like, oh god, my passive. So that's also good. He has gone back. He's bought himself a Phage, which is exactly the item I'm going to get. The only difference, he's buying it for Triforce, where I'm buying it for he's buying it for Black Cleaver, sorry, and I'm buying it for Triforce. So that's pretty much it. You'll notice the items in mid lane and the farm discrepancy there. So you've got a Swain on 75 farm and has already roamed. You've got a Corki that's gone a Hex Drinker and Executioner's Calling. This Corki will have no early game strength from both those items. He has no burst. He has basically no damage, which basically is just going to give Swain the free lane. It's sure you're going to reduce the Swain's healing, but you're not going to reduce his damage that much with a Hex Drinker as a Corki. It's not even going to give you that much damage. So Swain should be completely fine in that lane. Meanwhile, bot lane is still on the back foot, but he's only a little bit behind in farms, so he just needs to keep going, keep stacking his ultimate. Gank coming in mid lane, but Corki has package, just goes straight through the Lee Sin. Lee Sin's just taking a lot of damage for free right now, which is not a great idea, but he should be fine. Meanwhile, at top lane, we're kind of just having a nice farm fest, both of us being practically even on farm at this point. Lee Sin does actually go down to the Corki. He was being a little bit cocky, taking the free package damage. Draven's trying to fight a 2v1. It's risky, because he might go down if he's not careful, but he should be okay. So far, this game's not looking amazingly well, because most of the lanes are losing. Me and, obviously, Darius are even, so here we go. Going for my all-in right now, because I may as well. You lock him in, you put all your ghouls on him with your E, and you throw the Maiden on. It's a lot of damage. Like, I just did over 2/3 of his health from one combo. That's the potential of a Yorick, and there's not a lot of Darius can do about it. At this point, I do think I'm typing to my team, hey guys, just play careful. You know, do I have chat on? I don't know if chat is on. I could probably turn that off because it's taking up space, because you can see everything that's happening anyway. Bot tower does go down again. It does worry me that a Draven is losing lane that much with a Zyra support, by the way. That's a kind of strong support. Darius does go over for me. You'll also notice his thingy there. He does have Courage of the Colossus. He does flash. He's going very aggressive. This is like his point. That's like, I need to kill this guy. So I just go, I'm going to flash over here. Do go quite low from it, but he blows both of his summoners. That right there, and I'm going to say it, I say it occasionally, that's desperation. That I haven't got ahead of this Yorick yet. He's got teleport, I've got Ghost, therefore he can teleport around the map and get pressure. I can't. I need to get ahead of him. Now, you'll actually see something that I do a little bit greedy here. So you see my components. I bought the longsword and the ruby. Yeah, I ignored the phage because I was like, he didn't kill me then. I can try kill him. My team's doing the dragon as they got a couple kills. So I bought a phage, and I also bought a dagger just to get that extra attack speed. So this is where my confidence is starting to build, because I was like, wait a minute, the Darius now doesn't have summoner spells. That means I can lock him in my W, put all my ghouls on him with a sheen, just slam him, just burst him with my shovel. And I'm going to probably be looking for a kill pretty soon on the Darius in a 1v1. A lot is happening around the mid lane, though. We do end up getting the dragon, which is good. But I don't think anything else is happening. So that's also nice. You know, whenever I see my team doing a play and then they just survive and it's just like, okay, nothing bad happened. Trust me, especially as a top laner, I'm like, okay, good. That's fine with me. They do get a kill on the Corki. I think he did go a little bit too aggressive and then caught by the Lee Sin. Zyra's getting a little bit caught out by the Rek'Sai, but the Rek'Sai now is in our territory. Draven is coming over to try and get to him. He's actually popped himself over the complete wrong side there, so we'll see if Rek'Sai does go down. She did, if you heard that, hopefully the volume will be loud enough, did look for an ultimate there, but actually got CC'd by the Draven E. Now let's return to the top lane and see what happens now, because I am looking for aggression. I've got the Sheen. He's now near my tower, so like I mentioned, the Blitzcrank thing of holding him in when he's getting hit by tower. He does go for the all-in. There's the W. He's not near the tower yet, so unfortunately it was a little bit, you know, I did the W a little bit too early maybe. I needed him to come closer to the tower. He did kill all my ghouls, poor Jimmy. But yeah, I'm last hitting fairly easily, and I think relatively soon I'll be going for a fight on him. He does get hit by one tower hit. Ghouls are going to be on top of him. Cage him in. Remember, he's got no ultimate at this point, so I'm just going to go for as much damage as possible. Keep whacking him, and suddenly, and boom. So I get a nice kill there. It was relatively easy. Like, he did return a lot of damage to me, but as soon, and I mean as soon as I know a Darius can't flash out of my W, that's Yorick's strength. Is I can kind of hold him there. And I could have played that better. You know, I could have just been on the edge of the W, the shield, the wall thing. Whack him with Q, walk away. He's still in the cage. Next cool Q down, because it's a really low cooldown. Walk back, whack him with Q. I could have done that the whole time, but I was confident just to kill him straight up, so it didn't really matter. So I get a kill on him in the 1v1. Again, let me just mention, if you ever die in a 1v1, and obviously, if the person isn't incredibly fed by just getting, you know, fed elsewhere, you have made a mistake somewhere. So that Darius did make a mistake dying in that 1v1. His mistake was actually taking the fight, because he didn't have flash to flash out, he didn't have ghost to run away, and he didn't have enough damage just to take me on. So I have all components right now for the Triforce. Unfortunately, not enough gold. You'll see I've got 106 gold there. Not enough gold to finish it off, but it's okay. But, you know, I'll get it soon, and I've got the components, which still makes me quite strong. Now, in all chat, I do remember this Darius was complaining about a bug, and occasionally I do like to do witty responses. Never, you know, I never flame people, but I said, is death known as a bug nowadays in League? Because there was no bug that happened there. He just got killed. Going to continue farming, though. He's going to continue looking for a kill on me, but at this stage, I'm like, I can probably fight this guy relatively easy. Go for the all-in. He does pop his full passive on me, and this is what I mean. I'm holding him there. All my stuff is just still doing damage to him, so that's kind of where, again, Yorick's strength is, as I can trade with him without even being near him. My ghouls and my ultimate just whack on him while I run away. And that's why I think Yorick is so good versus Darius, because usually people can't fight a Darius. That's the strength of him. Yorick can. And the way he fights him is by not fighting him. Now, again, he's going way too close, and there's with the Blitzcrank move, everybody in the tower range, and hey presto, we get a nice kill. Again, by the whole concept of not actually fighting him. Rek'Sai does go for a kill on me again. I managed to survive it, which is nice. She does go for the flash, misses it, and now because she committed that hard, there should be a Lee Sin coming up the river to try and get the kill. So, honestly, pretty nice. I'm going to get another assist here, or should get another assist here, and I did. So this lane is going perfectly for me right now. 2 solo kills on the Darius, 1 assist on the Rek'Sai. We're pretty, we're pretty strong right now. So, gonna go back again. Always use your gold, even though the Darius doesn't TP. I may as well not overstay because you never know what can happen. There could be a random Corki and just kill me. Like, you don't want to risk it. So I do go back, I buy my Triforce, and then I buy a Chainmail. You'll notice I have not bought boots yet. Why have I not bought boots, everybody? I can hear you asking. Is because if there is a stage that Darius can get on me with Ghost and stuff, I'm probably dead anyway. So I may as well just build more combat stats and actually just try to take the fight rather than buying boots from movement speed. Because again, I just want to take these fights. I can, just cage him off. I don't need the boots right now. Corki is kind of looking with his package. Again, whenever you hear that package, let everybody know in your team. Everybody should be aware of it. It's why you should probably play League of Legends with sound on. Lee Sin is going for an all-in on the Darius, by the way, which I thought was a little bit risky, but he does get him near me, cage him off, and I'm going to go for the kill on him, which is going to take longer because I don't do actually that much damage. Lee Sin is going to continue going for him. Darius flashes, doesn't get the kill, and we pick up another kill on him. So this Darius, honestly, is having one of those games, and I've had them. I've been playing Darius a lot recently, where you just feel like you can't do anything. You're like, I'm just getting CC'd, or I'm just getting, bursted. It's an awful feeling as a Darius, because it's his weakness, is getting kited, getting CC'd, and this is all happening to him, and a lot of it is because of Yorick. It's just, it just works. You kind of cage him up like an animal. So that's pretty cool. So as a Yorick, let's just talk about what you want to do as the champion, because, yes, I've got a lead. I'm strong. I'm kind of fed in comparison to where I should be right now. What do I want to be doing the rest of this game? Well, pressuring top lane. I am never really a big split pushing person, as you probably know if you've been watching my channel for any given amount of time. Probably in the first video, people can probably tell I don't like split pushing, but there are certain champions that just do split pushing so good, you can, that's what they do. That's what you have to do, and Yorick is one of these champions. You can group. It's perfectly fine to group. But his strength and how his champion works in the 1v1 duels, the sustain, the ghouls, the ultimate, the cage, it's perfect for split pushing. So while my team is in mid lane, as you can see on the minimap, and right now they're all here, Darius is probably going to go over any second. He's probably going to go over, try to get a couple kills because there's relatively low health people. He can try to chunk one or two of them. So here he comes. He's probably going to look for an ultimate, or he's just going to get caught, gets caught, and he's probably going to go down straight away. They don't die. Draven use heal. I'm still at top lane, because I know I'm allowed to be here. Even if, Darius was never going to clean up that fight. He's too weak to do that right now, and we've got too much CC. So me being top lane right now is just the best option. The enemy team were dead. Darius is going to go over, and he probably can't do anything. Stay top lane. Just keep going. Powering in the top lane sometimes is the most annoying thing you can do to an enemy team. And people say, will a Yorick eventually group or team fight? Yeah, you can. You can do that. It's perfectly fine to do it. But look at this. My ghouls are now attacking it. And look how quick I get these towers. That is the strength of Yorick. And you can combine that with a Zrock portal if you want to, because that will even give you more pushing strength. And you basically, if anybody has seen the Heimerdinger build with Zrock portal and Banner of Command, you're basically the Bruiser AD equivalent of that, is the best way to describe it. Is you're tanky, you do a bit of damage, but you are just a pushing monster, kind of like the Zrock portal Heimerdinger. It's very similar in playstyle. So we're going to buy some components. Draven, is going for a fight on the Corki. Both get extremely low health, but neither of them die. Meanwhile, Ashe, for some reason, is top lane with a Darius. Maybe they've become best friends. And I'm just going to be like, okay. And again, I'm not even that terrible in 2v1 situations either, because they can't dive me. One, I'm a bit probably too tanky for that now, but secondly, I'm annoying to dive. Again, that's another strength of Yorick, that in top lane is, if someone tries to dive you, you can survive them really well in cage. Again, I'm a big advocate for that spell. I think it's his best spell, by the way, is the W, Dark Possession. I think it's his best spell. I think it's unique. There's nothing in League like it, really. There are similar things, but nothing exactly like it. But it's the fact that you can just cage someone off like that is so good. He is going to go for a fight on me. I'm like, are you fighting me? And then suddenly a Rek'Sai appears. So I'm like, oh. I do go for a fight. Maybe at this point I should have run away. But you can see my damage is coming off. But then the true damage of a Darius kind of shown. But meanwhile, my team is going to do the dragon. So swings and roundabouts. It's as long as whenever something bad happens, something good happens, then it's not a bad situation. But Yeah, the excuse me, the gank by the Rek'Sai completely caught me off. There's nothing more I can say about that. I got caught. There's a nice kill. Rampage now for Zyra, which is quite interesting. Yeah, I did die, which is annoying. So that's my first death of the game. Gonna let it go on dynamic cam just until we come back alive. But now I've got my Zrot pool, so either I can place this mid, I can place it top for increased pressure, or I can place it in a lane that we don't have the tower yet. So you can do anything you want with it. Again, there was maybe a few months ago, I think in preseason, I was buying Zrot pool on like every single tank because I just like the pressure that it gives. I say the word pressure probably more than any other word in my vocabulary of League of Legends terminology because that's what you want. That's what wins games is pressure. I'm going to TP him. Maybe cancel it, we'll see. I do actually go for it, so I do complete the teleport. So we are maybe looking for a little trade here or there. Rek'Sai goes a little bit too all in. I cage him like the animal that he is or she is. We're going to pick up a kill. I flash actually a little bit stupidly because I actually got the kill before I flashed just. I am going to try and survive. Swain, meanwhile, is going to try and go for some kills here. The heal, unfortunately, comes out by the Ashe, and they do end up surviving. For some reason, the Draven isn't with us, an AD carry that's, again, split pushing. I get so many split pushing AD carries that I don't know why. But in a team fight, I think we'll be completely fine. We just did throw a little bit there than we probably should have. But yeah, it's fine. Again, whenever you're winning a game, you don't expect everything to just go perfect. There will be room for error. We are, after all, humans. And again, this isn't Challenger. This is, I think, Diamond 2 MMR, roughly. So yeah, you do expect mistakes. And again, I would say, the lower rating you are, expect more mistakes. You shouldn't expect your teammates to be playing like gods if you are in bronze, silver, gold, platinum, even low diamond, even challenger. You watch any streamer in challenger and you still see crazy, stupid mistakes happen because they will happen. Dunkrius is going to go for a kill. He does pick up one kill straight away, which is a little bit, but he did use flash for it. And he only got one kill for the flash, so that's actually not that terrible. I'm going to go top lane, and you might be like, why am I going top lane when all this is happening? Because I want to set up the Zrot portal. I actually have not used the Zrot portal yet quite well, so I set it up. Enemy team is looking for a kind of dive, but they get punished for it. And at the moment, I'm like, okay, the team fight shouldn't keep going. Randomly, it is going a little bit too much than I thought it was going to. Nice little bind by the Swain there, and they're just winning the team fight by themselves. 2 people versus 3, and they just kill them all. And what you're about to see is actually something that actually made me decide to do this commentary. Is I do want to point out why Yorick is strong, and I'm probably going to title a video something like that. Ready? Ultimate into ghouls. Okay, watch the Baron's health. By the way, this is my damage. This isn't Swain's damage. This isn't Draven's damage. This is Yorick's damage. And Baron's dead. Ta-da! My team literally in chat were going, what the hell just happened? Like, we just killed Baron in a few seconds. Yorick, everybody. He's one of the strongest Baron takers in the game. And he's not even a damage dealer. So that's also something that I wanted to point out, because so many people wouldn't know that Yorick literally just wrecks Baron. Yeah, he does. So we got Baron now at 23 minutes in the game. I don't think the enemy team probably would have expected us either to do Baron or do it that quick. So yeah, free, which is really nice. Got my Mercury Treads, which is definitely a must for Yorick. You are a champion without much mobility, so you do need to reduce the CC incoming to you. Ashe has got caught. I think yeah, she actually arrowed then. She does get caught herself by throwing that down. So not a great idea by the Ashe. She hasn't had... Well, she's had an okay game, but that was a bad decision by her. Draven, although losing the early game, has managed to turn around his game completely by getting more farm than the Ashe, and now is 7-2. So that's always good to see. And again, Yorick with the tower pressure with his ghoulies. So that's always good too. Going to move on for the inhibitor. We don't actually have all of our team members here, so that's kind of what's making us a little bit like, we can't really go all in for this, but we really do want this inhib. Like, you can see my ghoul is still attacking it, and it will actually get it. It's another good reason. So we do end up getting it, which is good. So mission successful. So that will be a lot of pressure now going down the mid, which opens up basically the rest of the map. We are maybe looking for a team fight if we can kind of pick somebody. I'm like, hey, Rek'Sai, how are you doing? Do you actually get the W on her? But then my Darius actually mispositions a little bit and he gets completely owned. Gonna just kite it down and use the Zyra ult and stuff like that to keep going. Darius is looking for me with his ultimate. He actually E's and actually gets the Zyra from all the way over here, which I was not expecting. Swain potentially is gonna die. Really close. I throw my W. It's just a zone. It's just to stop them. continue going for us, which is all I wanted it to do. So in the grand scheme of things, what, an even team fight, 2 for 2, but then we have supers walking in the base. So you don't really want to look for even team fights when you're that far ahead, but if you looked at the team fight, Lee Sin was literally in their base. Like, he's here, he's dead here. That's a little bit too deep. To be honest, I am looking for maybe a little bit of pressure, you know, just get a sneaky kill if I possibly can. But with my Gauls, with the Baron, we are also looking for the tier 2. Also throw the Zrot portal out. But as soon as Corki spawns, we heard the package, and we're like, okay, it's time to leave, because we don't want to die for free. So the Zrot portal will eventually go down, so it didn't really do anything, but it's fine. We got a little bit of pressure on that tower. So if we look at the enemy team comp, again, what does this team comp scream to us? Well, it's kind of stupid, their team comp. One, it's full AD. Obviously, Corki does do a lot of magic damage. There's no denying that. But it's 3 AD carries. Corki, Ashe, Misfortune. 3 incredibly squishy people. Again, sometimes people just have very poor team combos, and again, this is all game knowledge. This is like the Misfortune picking Misfortune on purpose. It's like, why would you pick that? You know, sometimes you have to take away, especially in ranked at this rating, you have to kind of go, I'm going to play this because it's just smarter to do this certain thing. Corki also wastes his package on killing minions. So that's a good thing for us. But yeah, sometimes you've got to take out your feelings and go, I'm going to play this thing because it's just better. The Misfortune pick in this game was just not a good idea. Because in the late game, they have 3 AD carries. We just have to build armor, and there's not a lot they're going to do against us. So again, we're in the same situation as what we were. We're going to be sieging. We do have, obviously, Super's going to be flooding into the mid. And we do have an okay push, obviously, with the Yorick and the Zrot portal. My Ghouls, when they get onto this tower, will do a lot of damage. But it's actually just to get them on there is the trouble. So we're going to go a little bit into their base. Darius does manage to do a little bit of damage. There's the Ashe arrow straight on the Draven. Unfortunately, mispositioned by him. But he will not go down. Lee Sin, again, second time in a row, goes crazy all in and ends up dying, like, here. Too far in. He's done it twice in a row now that he's just diving in, just not really thinking. But we managed to stay around. So we're still at the base. We're still at the front door because of these minions. These minions will allow us to get this tower, basically. I'm still quite tanky, so I can stay around. Darius does go for a nice E. I flash away. Swain uses Onyas to survive. He will go for the Darius, who does go down after using his own flash. I'm going to go for the tower damage because it's more important. Then we're going to go for the inhibitor, but we might actually look to end the game. So I actually can't remember if we ended right now. I think we might have. But this was Yorick. Yorick versus Darius. Hopefully you've seen why it's so strong. The cage, the ghoul pushing, the Baron pressure. All of it is just brilliant versus a Darius, especially in the 1v1. But more importantly, it's just strong in general. I will go down, unfortunately, right at the end there. But we do end up getting the Rek'Sai, triple kill for Corki, and maybe the game doesn't end. So there's the Ashe arrow. And, yep, game's not over, everybody. Again, I recorded these games a couple days ago, or played this game a couple days ago. I don't actually remember it fully, but that's fine. Lee Sin, at the moment, I'm actually saying to him in chat, don't go to end it. Just don't. You're not going to end. Forget about it. Because some people, especially, will be like, I'm the hero! Da, 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 and just die. And then there's pressure for the enemy team. So what he should be doing is looking for a pick, and he's going for the Ashe. So there's a nice pick. He actually misses the Q. He gets her just with auto attacks because he actually sees the Darius coming. So he kicks the Darius away. Darius pops his ghost. Lee Sin's going to try and survive, but he's probably going to die, and he does. So it's not really worth it, that death, to be honest. It is obviously nice killing an AD carry because they might tilt a little bit, but we now don't have our jungler, so yeah, I'd rather be 5 people. The inhibitor is open, though. We've actually got wards all the way around it, which is actually quite funny. I could teleport on it, but I'm not going to, because then there's no point to do it. I have bought my elixir at this point, and if you're unaware what the elixir does, if I'm not mistaken, it gives you health. I think it gives you health. It gives you more tenacity, size, and this trail. It actually gives your team more movement speed if they follow the trail. A lot of people don't actually know that. We are going to try and pick the Misfortune because she has mispositioned quite badly. I unfortunately just miss the W there, sadly, but that's fine. So we were kind of waiting, delaying until we get Lee Sin back because we want to be 5 people. Just go as 5, end the game, and Bob's your uncle. Because the inhibitor now has respawned also. We still got the bottom lane one, so we still have some type of pressure, but not a crazy amount. I am walking into the base. Maybe even looking at this replay, maybe I'm walking into the base a little bit too early because we're not 5 people, so maybe I should have been a bit more patient. But look at Lee. He stopped to do wraiths. That's really stupid. So actually, that was a bit dumb from him. See, this is what replays do. I probably wouldn't have noticed he was doing that, but now I did. But yeah. And I will say, I have started to look at my replays a little bit more. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. And I will say so many people are probably not using the replay feature, but it's a really good thing to do. Because anybody who watch my videos or any YouTuber's videos, it's very easy to point out someone's mistakes while you're watching a video. Hell, I do it. But it's hard to point out your mistakes when you're in game. We are going to go for the final couple kills here. I managed to kill the Darius myself. Going on the Ashe, I will probably go down. But I get a lot of damage on her. But yeah, it's really easy to point out mistakes in a video, but that's why you should look at your own replays, because it's really easy to point out your own mistakes while watching a video or a replay. So if you do that to yourself, you'll only get better. You'll only look and go, am I actually doing that? How dumb am I? And you'll get better and better and better the more you look at your own mistakes. So that's why every YouTuber says, look at replays, but nobody does it. Again, that's why, you know, people in my videos, Panzer Dragon, Phi, Fox, it's so easy to go, oh, you should have done this or this and this. We 100% agree with you. Like, we always agree with you practically, because yes, we should. But because watching a video, you can look at the mistakes and go, they should have done that. Live is a different thing. So if you look at your own replays, like I've done this game, and go, okay, what could have I done different? Honestly, this game, I probably didn't have to do much different. I played it quite well. But that's how you're going to improve the most, is looking at your own replays and just making notes, going, okay, should have done that differently. Even treat yourself as not the person you're actually kind of spectating. Go, ooh, that could have been different there. And just kind of treat it as that. Look at all those, go, oh, I did all that. Okay, time to improve on that stuff. Because a lot of people play League without actually knowing what they're bad at. And the best way to find out is watching yourself. So anyway, that's going to be today's video. Again, we're doing the mini competition between today's episode and tomorrow's episode. So if you liked this method, throw a like on it. If you like tomorrow's method, throw a like at it. And I'll look at both likes and kind of go, okay, this one has more. I'll also look at the comment section. Obviously, that won't be ignored. But I enjoyed today's game. Hopefully, you can see why Yorick is strong versus the Darius matchup. So if you did, throw a like on it. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.